Rebecca here with a reminder that you can find answers to questions about recent practice changes at nar.realtor. This webpage includes a series of downloadable consumer guides in both English and Spanish that will give your clients the guidance they need. A recurring news story that we're seeing is whether it's cheaper to rent or buy. Well, stay tuned. Later in this video, Tina Tambor from the Cromford Report explains how choosing apples-to-apples comps determines the real answer. Be sure to take advantage of our free continuing education classes in October, including Fair Housing Through Time, Know Your Forms, Avoiding an Ethical Haboob, Disclosure Obligations in Real Estate, What's Agency Got to Do with It, and 3 broker management clinics. It's raining free CEs this month at your Scottsdale Realtors Association. And on October 23rd and 24th, you can earn 14 CEs for one low fee during our 2-day GRI, the contract class, which is a great opportunity to review residential contracts line by line. Now let's check in with Tina Tambor for insights from the Cromford Report.
Hello, my name is Tina Tambor, Senior Housing Analyst with the Cromford Report, and this is your September 2024 Housing Market Update brought to you by the Scottsdale Association of Realtors. Hey, have you heard that September 18th, the Federal Reserve decided to drop the Fed funds rate by a half point, causing the entire housing industry to move out of skepticism and into hope. What does that do, though, for mortgage rates? That's the big question. Well, the answer is nothing, actually. The mortgage rates actually went flat. In anticipation of this announcement, the mortgage rates had already been dropping for a good couple of months already. However, they were also dropping since April 25th. So we're going to do a comparison of what mortgage rates look like on April 25th at 7.5% compared to September at 6.15%. But don't forget FHA in there, dropping from 7% down to 5.7%. Mortgage rates we have not seen since the first quarter of 2023. So the initial response from buyers was not a big, bold movement upwards because it takes them a little while to warm up their jets. But what we did see was a very subtle shift in the contract activity on the weekly basis, where typically we would see this declining. Not only has it gone flat, but for the first time, just about the first time, we have consistently been higher than this time last year in contracts accepted every week. What does that mean for rent versus buy? Well, let's address some of these horrific rent versus buy scenarios going on out there. Let's all agree that a studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartment that's under 1,000 square feet is not exactly comparable to a median-sized home with a median size of 1,900 square feet, 3 to 4 bedrooms, possibly a garage and a yard. All right, but let's look at what the comparison of a 3-bedroom apartment is to mortgage rates and payments now. At $2,100 a month, that is our target. Looking at our median starter home, which is a 1,200 to 1,500 square foot single family home, you're looking at a cost of $375,000. Now, that's also a cost that has not moved too much in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, it was $374. 1 year ago, it was $370. Now it's $375. So we're looking at a lot of price stability so far in the housing market. Combine that with your mortgage rate drop from 7.5% to 6.1%, and everything is 13% off. It does not matter what your loan amount was. Dropping that mortgage rate from 7.5 down to 6.1 dropped every principal and interest payment down 13%. But that's not all, because many sellers, especially those in the 300 to 500,000 range, are offering 2-1 buy downs, or they're agreeing to concessions that cover a 2-1 buy down. And what is that? That means for the first year, you would get the equivalent of 2% off of your mortgage rate, dropping that first year payment down to $1,700 a month, roughly. That's an extra 20% off of your mortgage payment at 6.1%. Now, how prevalent is this practice of concessions from the seller? Well, if you're in that 300 to 500,000 range, you can see all of the darkest zip codes have more than 70, 80, and 90% of sales going with a concession. 13 out of 19 in 85308, 37 out of 40 sales in the last 30 days in 85353, and in 85225 in Chandler, 12 out of 13 sales. So this is the time when the sellers are a lot more agreeable coming into the fourth quarter. This is the best time to be a buyer in general before the spring season kicks in.